This literally just happened yesterday. I was at the pool with my auntie and 4 of my little cousins. At this said pool, there is a big pool, a medium kid-sized pool, and a baby pool, all in ground. My aunt was in the baby pool with my 2 baby cousins, and my 2 other cousins were in the medium pool. I was alone in the big pool swimming around. Now, this pool has a rule that any child under a certain height cannot be in the big pool area, even under the guidance of an adult. There was some toddler who was running around the pool edge, where he tripped on some sunglasses by the side of the pool and fell in. I was the only one who saw him, so I quickly swam over and picked the flailing, crying child out of the water. He was sobbing, but I calmed him down and he said, "Thank you," seemed like a super sweet kid. I wondered where the fuck his parents were and why he was left alone in the pool area, which he shouldn't even be in. I asked him where his mom was, and he showed me a lady who was tanning in a pool chair, not even paying attention to her child at all. I told her what happened, and the conversation followed through. He fell in? Me, yeah, but I saved him. He's okay. Why is he even? She cut me off. Well, why did you take him out of the pool? Me, because he was gonna drown. Kids his size can't even be in this pool. He is trying to learn to swim. This would have been a great learning opportunity and you messed it all up. Me, if I didn't do anything he would have drowned. Why weren't you watching him? He would have been fine if it wasn't for you. He was just playing around the pool. Me, well, kids his age can't even be in this part of the pool. What are you talking about? I paid to be here. He can go to whatever pool he wants. Now, there were signs everywhere saying the rule of height and children. Apparently entitled people can't read. Me, asterisk points to one of the rule signs asterisk. Well, I never saw that. It isn't my fault. These lousy lifeguards should have told me the rule. I then reported her to the lifeguard and she was escorted out of the pool for harassment and neglect of her child, I guess. I then just went to the medium pool and chilled with my cousins. Other than that, my day was rather fun. Have a nice day, laddies. He is trying to learn to swim. This would have been a great learning opportunity and you messed it all up. Don't mess with grandma. Entitled mom shames my mom for having a child at her age. The child was mine. Hello. So context, my son was born May 11th. We both had doctor's appointments, so I brought my mom along to have an extra set of hands. My name was called first, and I had some things that I wanted to talk to the driver about seriously and didn't want to be distracted with the baby, so I decided to let grandma keep Squish in the waiting room while I went in. This all happened while I was talking to the doctor, so it's all what I was told by my mom. Let's go. Cast. Squish, my wonderful baby boy grandma. My mom, Squish's grandma, entitled Mommy Shammer, Karen. So after I left, grandma was watching Squish while he played in his car seat. She was talking to him and playing too, and they were just overall minding their own business. The Karen and her daughter, who was an angel as grandma said, stepped out of the elevator and into the office. Grandma didn't pay attention to her, and her kid took a particular liking to Squish. She wanted to see him and hold his hand. She was very gentle with him. After checking in, Karen came over and sat across from grandma and rolled her eyes. Karen, sweetie, come here. We don't know what kind of defects that baby has. Grandma, excuse me? Karen, you're far too old to be having babies. Your child probably has ton of defects and I don't want my daughter to play with defective children. Grandma, are you serious? Do you hear how incredibly crazy you sound? Karen, I'm not the crazy one. You waited too long and now your baby is defective. That's why you're here, isn't it? Well, I hate to break it to you, but no doctor can fix your stupid mistake. Grandma, listen lady, that is my grandson. And I don't know who you think you are to tell me or anyone else when to have a child. You are not any sort of authority to me. I don't answer to you. The only one I answer to is God, and he doesn't take too kindly to people like you who judge others. From what grandma told me, Karen's mouth hung open as grandma went on with her aunt. She quoted Bible verses like Matthew 7:1-2 and Luke 6:37. Basically saying that God was gonna judge his lady hard for what she was saying. but my favorite part was how she ended her aunt. Grandma, now I will forgive you for your judgment, because I don't know what challenges God has put before you, but I hope you use this as starting point to get yourself in check and figure out why you feel the need to judge others in the first place. This went on for a while with Grandma cutting off Karen anytime she tried to speak. By the time I got out of my appointment things had settled, but you could cut the tension with a knife. Karen had with her arms and legs folded, teary eyes, and a red face. While I think my grandma could have been a little less harsh, I know that her intentions were clear and that God can forgive her and hopefully Karen. I hope Karen finds peace in herself someday. Edit. Karen thought that Squish might have defects because as women get older the chance of birth defects go up. However, the chance is still very minimal. Karen at passport. Control never ends well. Re-upload. Apparently this got deleted when I last posted it, so here it is once more. This is long. Obligatory mobile disclaimer, so forgive the fucking formatting. I know it's atrocious. This happened a considerable while ago and just ugh. I'm still fucking pissed at how outrageous and unfair this whole incident was when I remember it. TL. Doctor at the end here is our cast. Me. Work it out Karen. Emek. Work it out Ed. Work it out SBC01. Shitty Border Control Officer 1 SBC02. Shitty Border Control Officer 2 SBC03. Self-explanatory. So, I live in France, but my family is from Syria, so I decided to visit my home country, as I'd heard from many people that the capital, Damascus, was pretty safe to visit now. As I hadn't visited it in years due to the war, I jumped at the chance. The trip to Syria was wonderful. I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Damascus and meeting friends and family who were trapped there during the war. I had decided beforehand that I wanted to visit the US after my trip to Syria, as I had been very young when I last visited. So after my stay in Syria, I found myself on a plane to the States, with a stopover in Germany. The flight to Germany was alright, but the flight from Germany to the States was a nightmare. I was sat at window seat. The seat next to me wasn't taken by anyone when the flight started. In the two seats behind me were Karen and her egg. About 4 hours into the flight, Karen asks me if her egg can sit in the empty seat next to me. I allowed it, as I didn't see any problem with it. Big mistake. It's not even been 5 minutes before Karen asks me to turn off my movie as she thought it wasn't good for Ek to watch. I told her that I wouldn't be turning it off. She gave me the Karen death stare but said nothing. I got up to use the toilet. When I came back, a muscular redneck looking bitch was sat in my seat. I tell him that he's sat in my seat, and this is how he responds. Karen here told me that you wouldn't turn your film off, so I'll have to sit here to make sure the ex sleeps well. Go find another seat. So this fucking redneck was at me. I guess I'll just take the empty seat next to Karen. Karen, if you must. Both Ed and Karen give me death stares during the flight. I proceeded to take out my passport and visa, making sure everything was there and in order. Another mistake. I was holding a French passport, but I look Syrian. So Karen asks the following question. Karen, are you native French? Me, no. Karen, where are you from? Me, Syria. I regret telling her this. Karen then looks at me, and I swear she looks disgusted for a moment. She then leans forward and whispers something to Edition. Ed then gets up and strolls over to me. Ed, show me your bag. Me, why would I do that? Ed then seizes the bag and empties the entire fucking thing out in the aisle, then sat back down. I was too stunned to reply. Karen. To Ed, his explosives are probably in his suitcase. I shit you not. Thankfully, some kind passengers helped me repack my shit into my bag. The rest of the flight managed to go without a hitch. A miracle, I know. Anyway, so I'm in the line at passport control, and after an eternity, my turn finally comes. I approach the desk and hand my passport and all appropriate documents over to SBC01. Whilst they are asking me questions, I hear a cry of "Don't grant that terrorist entry." Lo and behold, it's our favorite entitled family. SBC01 looks at them, puzzled. Karen spins a long story of how I should be refused entry as I threatened to blow up multiple US landmarks and commit unspeakable acts of terror. As I piped up to defend myself, SBCO1 commands me to come with them. I'm taken away, where SBCO2 and SBCO3 ask me various questions, such as whether I've ever been involved in an incident with any terrorist groups and terror related shit like this. Then they begin to search my suitcase. I'm confident, as I know I don't need to fear anything as I'm not a terrorist. But then, SBCO3 pulls out my drone. Shit. They ask me what I was intending to use the drone for, and of course they don't believe my explanation. I spent the night stuck at the airport, and I was eventually refused entry and put on the plane back to France. I mean, I flew business class back, so I guess that was the only positive. This incident still makes me rage today. Those shitty border control people fucking denied me entry based off the ramblings of a motherfucking Karen. Let's just say, this has left a bad taste in my mouth regarding travel to the US. TL. Dr. Karen finds out I'm Syrian during a flight to the US. Spins a story about me being a terrorist. I end up getting refused entry to the US.